about the secret gospels that were found in 1945 in Egypt, in the Nag Hammurabi Library?
Yeah.
The secret book of John of St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Are those historical, would you consider them reliable? I mean, they were dated back to 300 AD. And they contradict the current New Testament. I'm sure you're aware of all that. You reject those texts?
I think it's real clear that the Gospel of Philip, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of the Truth are Gnostic Gospels, which means they have a philosophical presupposition of Gnosticism. It was real clear. They rejected the Old Testament because the Old Testament said that God created this material world good. And obviously Gnosticism teaches the physical is evil, the spiritual is good. Obviously Gnosticism, therefore, rejects the idea of the incarnation, that God would take upon himself a human body. Obviously they reject the physical crucifixion and the physical resurrection. And obviously the Gnostic Gospels also reject the idea that sin is the basic problem. They insist ignorance is the basic problem, and therefore secret knowledge, gnosis, is the key to the human dilemma. Well, let's be real honest. That obviously contradicts both the Old Testament and the Jewish rabbi, Jesus of Nazareth, who insisted that the Torah was the Word of God, and who insisted that his death was of ultimate significance. So you obviously have some Gnostic philosophical tracts, and what you have is they hide behind Jesus in order to get some airtime.
I know it's not the other way around.
Because the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were written in the 1st century, not the 2nd, 3rd, 4th century. Secondly, the eyewitness community, those who were with Christ, accepted those Gospels as reliable and authoritative. The Gnostic Gospels were not accepted by the eyewitnesses, by the apostolic community. Thomas did not write the Gospel of Thomas. Philip did not write the Gospel of Philip. They're pseudepigraphal documents written by somebody else, and then in order to give their document credibility, a name of an apostle is attached to it. And the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th century church saw that and rejected them as Gnostic philosophical tracts.
So you tell me you read the book of Philip, or the
Gospel of Philip? Yeah, I read it 2 weeks ago.
And it said in the Gospel of Philip that Philip didn't write that gospel?
No.
Is that what you just told me?
No, you find out that from other documents.
Oh, how do you trust those other documents?
By looking at the eyewitness community, the apostolic community, those who saw Christ, and then beginning to understand that they warned about Gnosticism. That warning comes out in Paul, it comes out in John, 1 John, warning about Gnostic ideas that were creeping into the church. It was one of the first battles, theological battles that went on. Gnosticism versus a view of Christ as God in human form.
Right.